What's going on, guys? Will at Rogue Studios back at you with another video. I know it's been a while. I've been really busy, but right now I'm actually checking out the Creality LD-006. I know, weird name for a printer, but that's what it is. I don't really mess around with Creality products because my first Creality printer was the Creality 5 Pro Plus, whatever, the big one. And I didn't really have much success with it, so I actually ended up giving that one away and replacing it with my Anycubic Cobra Max. But I saw this bad boy on auction and I decided, why not? And I gotta tell you that I'm actually fairly impressed with this printer, how it prints and how it looks. I've never seen one with an orange acrylic cover on it. So we're gonna get into the specs, what it does, its features, and how well it prints. So let's do it. Alright, so here it is on the table with my Anycubic and my Saturn. So, my Creality right off the top is a bit bigger than my Mono X and my Saturn. The Saturn, compared out of these two, is actually smaller in terms of build volume compared to my Anycubic. This one has a larger Z-axis build volume than any of these. So that is actually really nice. So I left the acrylic on here because, as you can see, my Anycubic and my Saturn are really dirty, so I'm doing my best to keep this one clean. One of the features that I do like behind this printer is that the on and off button is on the front. I don't know what's taking Anycubic and Elegoo to kind of get that feature going, but I would assume that on their later models that is the case. But Anycubic is doing okay with the little button on the side, but this one, where you just push it and it turns on, I like that a lot. I actually just get a kick out of just turning it on because I don't have to reach behind and turn it on. I don't have to find a button on the side and turn it on. It's right there in front of me. I know exactly where I gotta go. Another feature here is that the USB drive is on the front. On the side. I would prefer it on the front, but you know, this works out just fine. I have no problems with that. So the overall build or overall printer size, don't know off the top of my head. I'll probably list them when I'm editing this video so you can see the exact dimensions of this printer right here. So we're going to take off the acrylic and we're going to go inside for you. Alright, so this acrylic here is actually orange, as you can see, and it's actually fairly big. I like it. I'm trying my best to keep it clean, but all in all, this is probably the eye catcher. This thing right here is probably the looker for most people because it's orange. Usually you get red or yellow. Creality decided, hey, why not do orange? So there you go, orange. First things first is the build plate. Now this has a left and right indication on there because, you know, why not? Make sure you put the build plate back on. Personally, without these, I've never had an issue putting the build plate back on, but that's just me. This is actually chamfered off a little lightly so the resin can kind of fall off as it goes out of the vat. The one thing I'm not too enthusiastic for is the connection points right here and right here. Resin actually gets in there and kind of pulls, and it's not easy to clean it out. So not a fan of that, but all in all, this build plate is actually really big, sandblasted, looks really good, and it does well to hold the print. So I haven't had a print fail with this just yet, so fingers crossed it doesn't really happen. Next up we have the vat, all plastic, no metal. What can you do? And this one actually has a pretty distinct spigot here. Now you gotta be careful with this because if you go ahead and pour your resin back into your bottle, this can actually overflow and make a mess. So be careful pouring that out. If you have a funnel, I would recommend using a funnel with this. Yeah, it looks like it'll get all the resin back in there, but at the same time, you don't really want to go ahead and rush it because you will make a mess. All in all, this looks good. It's actually slightly bigger than another, like my Mono X vat. So I'm going to pull that out really quick. So my Mono X vat and this vat can actually fit in. It can fit inside of it barely, but you get the idea. This vat is slightly bigger than this vat. This is metal, by the way. This thing is aluminum. This is all plastic. So bigger vat, and this is also bigger than my Saturn. So you kind of getting a comparison between printers here. So that's a bonus. Alright, so this one does have the little footprints, just like all the other big printers. You can see a little notch, a little nub right there that fits right as it's supposed to be. And yeah, you do have to screw them down with these knobs. So all in all, same concept as all the big scale printers, just slightly different in terms of design. Now let's go check out some prints this thing is done. So the first print I done was this Lugia from My Poke Prints over on Patreon, and the detail on this thing is actually really good. This is a 4K mono-K screen, and I don't really know what the size is, but I'm gonna put it up on the size after I research it. But this Lugia came out really good. I did it in a white resin, obviously, and I am actually pretty happy with the way this turned out. Lugia is probably one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, so yeah. Again, got this from Poke Prints over on Patreon. Now let's look at some other things that I did. Now the next thing I printed was this blue Omega Ranger statue, which you can find over on my Patreon. I printed the base on my Acrylic using a shiny blue, as you can see, but all of the statue parts were done on this new Creality printer, and I gotta say that the details are amazing. This thing came out looking great, and it only took about 6 hours for it to print. So far, in terms of resolution, I am really impressed with this printer. This printer does a really great job, and it's fast. So, can't really have any complaints about this printer. Creality, you might have won me over. And last but not least, I printed these Zeo crystals 4, 5, and 1 on the printer, and these things look absolutely amazing using an Anycubic clear resin that I had with it. This thing took about a total of 17 hours, but you can see that the finer details and the way I wanted the crystals to come out look really good. So these are also available on my Patreon. It's coming soon, and it's actually going to be part of a nice little LED display that I'm working on. So if you guys want to get in on this really cool display that is nearly complete in terms of prototyping, visit my Patreon and get your hands on it. All in all, I think this printer is pretty good. It's quick, it's fast, it's reliable, and the features on it are really cool, especially that little power button on the front. Yes, I'm going to keep pointing it out because I think that's freaking awesome. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. The price point for this printer is actually up here. You can go ahead and get it from Creality. I think this is one of their latest printers. I don't think they've done anything new since the release of this printer. I could be wrong. Don't take my word for it. So I will see you guys next time on a video. Special shout out to my patrons who are listed here, without which would not be possible. And if you're interested in getting your hands on some Power Ranger STLs that I'm working on, go ahead and check out my Patreon. It really does help the channel, and I got a lot more cool stuff coming your way. So until next time, guys, make sure you do like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video, probably unboxing another printer, because I got my hands on a lot of printers on my little vacation, and I have a lot of planning to do. So until then, guys, take care of yourself, and I will see you next time.